Hi, welcome to Chapter 4 of the Nolio to ServiceNow Integration How-To series. In this chapter, we'll be starting to explore how to update ServiceNow from a running Nolio process. Specifically, we'll be using ServiceNow's Direct Web Services facilities and Nolio's SOAP call action to complete the task. So let me show you how it's done. The first thing that we're going to want to do is we want to get the ServiceNow Web Services WSDL for Nolio. If you recall, we have started to customize our ServiceNow instance by doing making outbound calls from a change task table. I want to now update that change task table back. So I'm going into the change management facility, into one of the change tasks. I'm sorry, into one of the change requests, of course, and then drilling down from that into the change task field that I want. And I want to draw your attention. If you look at the links at the bottom of the screen, you'll see that it says ServiceNow change task.do. However, if I roll over a something else here, it'll say sys parm view home do show schedule do. Everything in ServiceNow has an underlying table. So, and this one is change underscore task do. It's important to remember. I'll tell you exactly why in a second. So here's our change task form. As you recall, we've done some customization to enable launching of Nolio processes from here using SOAP message, etc. And what we want to achieve now is I want to achieve some sort of an update mechanism in order for Nolio to update, for example, into this status work notes things that are occurring as the automatic process run. So in order to do this, I want to be using web services calls from Nolio to ServiceNow. Okay, web services in ServiceNow is direct on any table. This is our Nolio instance over here. I'm sorry, our ServiceNow instance. It's called Nolio demo.service-now.com. On our instance, we know our table is called change underscore task. It has a do thing, and when you do WSDL like that, what you're going to get is you're going to get the SOAP endpoint for the change task table. So what we want to do is we want to now go and grab those messages and prepare XML envelopes to use with our processes. In order to do this, one of the best tools I know out there, and it's free, it's called SOAP UI. So you can just download that from the internet, create a new project, let's call it ServiceNow, and give it the WSDL URL here. I didn't copy it correctly, so let me just do that quickly now. Command C, move back and copy it into here. As soon as you hit OK, SOAP UI is going to be downloading the definition. It's going to ask us for a username. The default demo instances have an admin password that you can get. As soon as I've updated that, here we are. Here is our ServiceNow SOAP definitions. You can see that I have an update file here. If I want to look at the request, double click on that, and I have my request XML over here. So what I've done is I've copied this XML, and I'm going to now use that XML as a file and keep it on my Nolio system. So my Nolio agent is sitting on a Linux box outside on the world. Let's just log into that, and I'm going to show you what I did. What I've done is I have put a file in the temp directory called Nolio update servicenow.xml, for example. So we can take a look at that. And what you can see is that I've taken out all of the optionals and I've left the few things that I need. I've left the system ID, which is something that I have to have in order to know which task item to update. For those of you that remember when we created the outbound call, I got this ID programmatically and sent it to the process, and I have a work notes update and the state that I want to do an assignment. All of this is going to be dynamically updated by the Nolio process every time before I make the call. So actually, why don't we just take a look at Nolio and see what I've done with this. It's fairly simple. So I created a new component. It's called ServiceNow. Within ServiceNow, I have 4 actions. One is a debug to show the change request number, but I have 3 different ones that are deployment. So the first 2 are to update the SOAP envelope with task work nodes. You can see it's very simple. XPath query to update the service. Now I'm putting the date, the time, and just saying which product name I deployed successfully into the work notes of the XML file which I've parameterized here. Second SOAP envelope update is to get the correct sysid, and this sysid is there it is. Let us take a look at it. It's an application parameter which I'm sending to there it is, SN_sysid. You can see it's a user input parameter that I'm sending the process from ServiceNow when I launch the process. So this is how my link back. I'm linking it back. And finally, I have one action which is a SOAP request that goes back to my ServiceNow instance and sends it the updated XML. My flow that I've created is very simple. Update the calling ServiceNow task. I'm updating the envelope with the right system ID, then updating the envelope with all the comments that I like, and then simply invoking the SOAP action. And there you have a closed loop of working back into ServiceNow from Nolio. Thank you very much for listening to this. With any questions, please just feel free to drop me an email at ron@noliosoft.com. That's RON@noliosoft.com.